Hello, everyone, and thanks for your time today. So I just want to take you through Kalibr8. So just to start off with, just a brief overview. Kalibr8 was designed to help MSPs to automate a multi-cloud cost optimization platform for their customers, to dramatically reduce cloud spend, to accurately allocate that cost, identify and manage resources, implement governance, and crucially to automate that administration around that governance, and also to reduce and understand power consumption within the cloud of their customers' environments. And to do this with no scripts, no coding, and no hassle. To go into before I start the next slide, a little bit of background. I come from an MSP background. I had an MSP here in Ireland. And my colleagues actually were my competitors who also had MSPs in Ireland. And we had actually sold our businesses to larger MSPs, but in the process for me, working with a larger MSP, I took over the Microsoft practice. And what I could see in talking to the CIOs and the CFOs within our customer base was the same question came every time. You know, my customers, my CIO told me when I went to the cloud, it was going to reduce my costs. The opposite has happened. And variations of that theme would happen nearly, verbatim in every single conversation that we were having. So it started the idea for myself and with my colleague Pascal, that this was definitely something that needed to be addressed. But when I talked to the team in the MSP floor, they also said that they were having a problem in that these products were being rolled out to their customers, but every customer seemed to be using a different product. And we couldn't find one that actually fitted for the MSP that has to manage multiple customers, not just itself. And what we found when we looked at the market was that there were solutions out there that were very analytics based. And the problem with that is that they're Google Maps, right? They show you the way, but somebody has to go and drive the car. For an MSP, that's usually a high cost resource. So we looked at how we could maybe address this and build a product that was built for MSPs for two-tier distribution. So the difference with Kalibr8 is that we started with our coding and our product, but actually doing something about the problem, not just analyzing to find out what the problems may be for somebody else to fix it. So we don't just analyze, we optimize. We have the Azure cloud launched at the moment with AWS and Google coming later this year. And we automate cloud resource optimization and cost management. We're the only, as I said, the only optimization software out there that's designed specifically for MSPs to manage all of their customers across all the major clouds in one pane of glass, to govern those cloud resources, and also that we're 100% channel, as I mentioned, implement ongoing policies to optimize cloud growth. So what I want to touch on here as well is a little bit of the market. Okay, so I look at this state of the cloud report quite a bit, and for 7 years running, optimize existing use of cloud has come at #1. It's actually, this is last year's report. The new report just got released a couple of days ago, and actually it's 64% this year. And again, 7 years in a row, cost savings and optimizing existing use of cloud for customers is their #1 initiative. And that says 7 years in a row that the problem hasn't been solved. But what we're seeing now is the advent of FinOps teams within the enterprise, and that's going to start to filter down into the mid-market as well. And the initiatives are all around cost in many ways, and all around doing more with cloud, but understanding and managing the spend. And what we found within both these reports with Gartner and with the state of the cloud, and from talking to our customers, which is really crucial, is that when this efficiency is found, it doesn't go back to the bottom line. The budget is invariably, in fact, 75 to 80% of the time, that budget is used to do more in the cloud. So ultimately, for the MSPs and their partners, what they're doing is they've got a larger cloud that's more efficient. Rather than viewing it as reducing the amount that they spend, it's about finding the waste and turning it into productive spend. And I think that's a very key point. If you look at the other things that they're looking at, they want better financial reporting, which we deliver. They want automated policies for governance, which we help deliver. And they're looking to expand their use of marketplaces and MSPs. So again, here's the metrics that drove those results. So again, cost saving, number one, increased speed of innovation, cost avoidance, value delivered to business units. And I think that's an important one, right? Value is around, your spend being productive. And as you'll see in later slides, the waste that we're seeing in the public cloud is really high. And then if we look at what's happening in terms of their growth within the cloud. So at SMB level and enterprise level, but I think the SMB level is really interesting, is that 60% have grown significantly higher or somewhat higher than planned in the cloud. So, we really are beginning to see, extensive growth in cloud usage across all types of enterprise. So this is touching on the waste part. So with Gartner, and with various reports, the mean waste, and this is self-estimated in many cases. So usually it's with slightly rose-tinted lenses, that the waste within the cloud is around 30%. So if we look at the cloud market globally, the public cloud market globally, that's around 600 billion. So I like to use the analogy: if that 30% holds true, the GDP of Finland is wasted in the cloud every year. And I think there's a huge opportunity there for MSPs and for customers to take that 30%, turn it into productive spend. If it's productive, it can grow. If it's waste, it doesn't really go anywhere, and it doesn't really offer any value, and is often rooted out and gotten rid of. So we're a new approach to cloud optimization. Kalibr8 fully automated and always on. So we've automated scheduling of cloud resources, scaling. We've an automated recommendation generation, optimization guidance, and also in the next release we're going to have right sizing guidance as well, which will be moving instances from one type to another to understand what savings your customers can make. Kalibr8 doesn't require MSPs to do anything. So like I said, you automate, you scale, you optimize, you go. We're also bringing in unusual activity, cloud level fraud alerts. And then in version 2, we're going very deep into analytics, but also into the power consumption analytics, plugging into the major grids, letting MSPs put their customers' company numbers in and understand the full footprint of their power consumption in terms of IT. And that will be both on-premise and cloud, because for power consumption, we feel you need to have a total view of what's going on. Again, why Kalibr8? So all three clouds, automated, specifically designed for MSPs, managed automated schedules, PaaS scaling, optimization of end user cloud resources and budgets, and attractive economic incentives for MSPs. That's just a view there of what the platform looks like. And if we go into the main areas again that we currently have, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but we've got cost and saving reports, multiple management groups. So you can manage this at the instance level, the resource group level, the subscription level, or the tenant level. We have a labels and tags manager. We have cost and savings reports, and again, these are going to be customizable. And we're also bringing in, which I really like, which our team are working on at the moment, is having an MSP QBR report download, where we'll actually package what you need for your QBRs to your customers. Within our roadmap, we've AWS and Google coming, and Alibaba probably early next year. Expanded automation of cloud assets, 365 integration. We're going to have a more advanced and continuous development of analytics and FinOps, cost anomaly detection, as I touched on, power optimization, as I touched on, AI integration within this. And to me, AI is just in our platform, in our world, is proactivity, right? Proactively serving opportunities to optimize your customers' environments. And here's the commercial model. And this is where we're a little different as well for MSPs. So when we started talking internally within, in our previous roles, one of the things we noticed is that any cloud understanding analytics product that was out there was designed for the end user, and it was designed for the enterprise. And as a result, the commercials were designed for the enterprise. And what we found a lot of the time was that MSPs and partners was kind of given a nice commercial wrapping around an end user solution to encourage them to manage it and use it. But it was very difficult for MSPs to manage it, because there were percentage of total consumption, or percentage of the accounts, or lots of different ways in which the technology and both the commercial proposition weren't designed for the one-to-many. They were designed for a one-to-one. And our solution has been designed for the one-to-many. So we're a very, very simple solution, irrespective of the cloud you're using. It's per instance per month. And so you get charged, you bring on the instances for your customers, there's a small charge for the analytics, and then an additional charge is only added when you find an opportunity to optimize and you do that optimization. So when you find the saving, you then pay a little bit extra for the optimized instance. The average saving we find is around 25–30%. So even at that, the average cost of a VM is say $250. You're talking about a $75 saving at an average cost for an MSP for their customer of around $4.50 to $5 per instance. So there's a huge amount of savings and a low cost to do so. So if we look at that, then we're doing free trials, and what we found with distributors are bundling this with the cloud. So and this is an important point as to why I left that in, but as to why they're doing that. Customers, as they're buying the cloud, should be buying the ability to manage, understand, and optimize that cloud, and I guess MSPs and CSPs likewise. The MSP yourselves, one of the benefits of us is because we have a very simple, 2 SKU licensing model. You can then do it whichever way you feel is appropriate for your agreements to your customers. Total savings, monthly spend, by user subscription. You can simply margin. It's really up to yourselves about what suits your business in terms of how you go about your commercial agreements with your customers. And most importantly, the customer wins. It's saving a significant amount of money. And obviously, in terms of managing their cloud, you're building a moat around that customer and building a stronger relationship, a stickability with them, because they understand that you've got their budgets in mind. So key advantages for you is to reduce your professional services costs with automated policies, automatically scale and instance schedules, differentiate your market offering, increase your margin significantly. Our MSPs are making between 30 and 40% gross margin, which is a healthy margin. Historical data and usage patterns. So as soon as you onboard your customers' environment, you will understand where the opportunities are to optimize, reduce their carbon power footprint, advanced management with tags and labels, customized reporting through Power BI and other tools where we're going to be onboarding Yellowfin and others to be able to use those as well, and recommendation engine that continually optimizes. And most importantly, as I said, the customer wins. Lastly, in version 2, we're going to touch on the power. And I don't know about out in Australia and New Zealand, but I know in Europe, this is a very hot topic. So if we look pre-pandemic, the cost per carbon ton for tax against that was around 11 to 13 euros. Now it's over 90. And I'm assuming that situation is probably proliferating around the world. So we're building a platform to help customers understand and drive efficiencies within their, in Europe, the scope 1, 2, and 3 energy footprint. That's their supply chain and their indirect power costs. So you'll be able to deliver them a report about what they've done and how their work has impacted on their total carbon footprint and sustainability goals. So in summary, multi-cloud, built for 2-tier distribution, flexible and lucrative pricing model, analytics, automation, and governance, ideal follow-on sale, 100% channel-only platform, and again, we advance sustainability. And we do it all with no scripts, no coding, and no hassle for you and your team. Thanks very much. And we are also doing a promo. We're doing it for the attendees at this webinar. We're doing a 3-month unlimited 3-month trial where you'll be able to onboard as many of your customers and their accounts and their environments as you like and test the platform.